Opening with the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen, often leading to sharp games. The French defense prepares for d5, but blocks in the light-squared bishop in exchange for a strong center and counterattacking chances. Knight c3 develops the knight toward the center, controls the d5 square, and supports the e4 pawn. d5 takes space in the center and attacks the e4 pawn. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center and controls d4 and e5. This threatens to tactically win a pawn. This stops the opponent from being able to tactically win a pawn. Takes back. This prepares the bishop for development. Black develops the bishop and attacks the center. Developing the bishop and increasing influence in the center. Castling gets the king out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. Both kings are castled and ready for the middle game. This activates a bishop by developing it off of its starting square. This creates space for the king to move in case it is attacked. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. This takes an open file, a common method for activating a rook. There was only one good move there, and black did not spend enough time trying to find it. This kicks a bishop. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. This threatens to win material because the defender is pinned. The game was close to equal, but now white has the advantage. This threatens to win material because the defender is pinned. There were worse moves, but also something much better. This threatens to tactically win a pawn. Advancing the pawns in front of the king can compromise the king's safety. This threatens to tactically win a pawn. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. This misses an opportunity to take an outpost with a rook. This was a game-changing move. Black is no longer in a losing position. This kicks a knight. This moves the knight to safety. This is not the right idea. This overlooks an opportunity to centralize a knight so it controls more squares. This allows the opponent to kick a knight. Recaptures. This threatens to tactically win a rook. This stops the opponent from being able to tactically win a rook. This connects the rooks, which helps them work together. This is the only good move. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. This permits the opponent to win material through an eventual fork. This wins material. This permits the opponent to win a tempo by threatening a queen. This overlooks an opportunity to win a tempo by threatening a queen. This took advantage of a bad move, and black is no longer in a losing position. This allows the knight to control more squares. White attacks a trapped piece and will win material. This is the only good move. This creates a counter threat against the queen, as opposed to retreating. This overlooks a better way to tactically win a pawn. This threatens to tactically win a rook. This wins a pawn. This removes the attacking queen. Takes back. Black's piece has moved to a square with greater activity and control. This overlooks an opportunity to double rooks on a single file. This allows the opponent to win a tempo by threatening a rook. This misses a better way to win a tempo by threatening a rook. This is the only move that works. This move puts the rook on a safer square. This mobilizes the knight, allowing it to control more of the board. That pawn was free for the taking. This wins time by threatening a rook and forcing it to move away. This places a rook on the 7th rank, where it can be highly active. This threatens to activate a rook by getting it to the 7th rank. This allows the opponent to activate a rook by getting it to the 7th rank. This is the only good move. This activates a rook by getting it to the 7th rank and also restricts the king. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. After all captures, this is an equal trade. This is an equal trade. Placing a rook behind an opposing passed pawn can inhibit the pawn's ability to promote. Very precise. Black will be winning a pawn with that fork. This is the only move that works. This steps away from the checking knight. That was a free pawn. This defends the attacked pawn. There were worse moves, but also something much better. This is the only good move. This overlooks a better way to evade the check from the opposing knight. This is the only move that works. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. Pushing a passed pawn. This overlooks an opportunity to eventually win material. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This evades the check from the rook. That pawn was free for the taking. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. This steps away from the checking pawn. Pushing a passed pawn. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. This puts the rook behind the other player's passed pawn. Pushing a passed pawn. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. The knight now occupies a secure outpost. Pushing a passed pawn. This promotes a pawn to a queen. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. Placing a rook behind an opposing passed pawn can inhibit the pawn's ability to promote. Right on target. This evades the check from the rook. A solid choice. This steps away from the checking rook. This moves the rook to safety. One of the best moves. This evades the check from the queen. Pushing a passed pawn. Black finds a nice tactic with just seconds to spare, winning a rook. This captures a queen that checked the king. Recaptures. Pushing a passed pawn. A very strong play. This is a nice tactic found in time trouble, winning a rook. This puts the rook behind the other player's passed pawn. A solid choice. One of the best moves. White finds a nice tactic with just seconds to spare, winning a rook. This is the strongest option. Takes back. This gives away a free pawn. This continues the checkmate threat. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. This continues down the road to checkmate. That pawn was free for the taking. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. This continues down the road to checkmate. This is a nice tactic found in time trouble, winning a knight. This evades the check from the knight. This continues the checkmate threat. That knight was free for the taking. This steps away from the checking queen. This continues the checkmate threat, pushing a passed pawn. And the game is over.